This is a 12 News weather alert. I'm Mike Montecalvo. Heavy snow continues to fall and causing dangerous driving conditions. Drivers are being encouraged to stay off the roads, and trucks are banned on roads in Rhode Island, Massachusetts, and Connecticut. Let's get right to Chief Meteorologist Tony Petrarca and what he's tracking right now. We're in the middle of this, Tony.
Yeah, Mike, right in the thick of it. Doppler radar obviously very active with widespread heavy snow. When you get the darker blues on the radar, just means the snow intensity has increased, and we're getting rates 1-2 inches per hour, and the potential is there at times over the next several hours to have snowfall rates of 2 to 3 inches per hour. So as of 4:30, generally statewide, we've picked up about 6 to 9 inches of snow, obviously more to come. Greenville 8, East Providence 7, Providence 7, as well as Coventry. North Providence just checking in at 8, Chepachet at 9. It's been really accumulating quickly in the northern part of the state. And even Narragansett now coming in at 8 inches of snow. Let me step out of the way for just a second. Now on the Doppler radar, still widespread heavy snow, but we're getting reports now of sleet in New York City and Long Island, New York. That's this pink area right in here. So I do expect along the South Shore, you have more accumulating snow to come, but you will see a transition over to sleet. Those are those ice pellets, and that'll occur for several hours, whereas northern suburbs, especially Providence points north, will more than likely stay all snow. It's this area of low pressure storm system off the mid-Atlantic tracks north and east and just enhancing the rainfall. Obviously quite cold to support mainly snow. That is it. 9 degrees, poor visibility, closing in on 7, 8, 9 inches of snow right now in Lincoln. And okay, well, that doesn't surprise me how heavy the snow is coming down in Providence. In this particular camera view, you can see the visibility there's no visibility at all. 14, you got snow now sticking to the lens in Newport, coming down very heavily at 17 degrees. So Newport, you've got heavy accumulating snow right now, but you'll be one of the first locations to switch over to sleet. Now, sleet obviously doesn't accumulate as readily as snow, but it's still very significant and dangerous when it comes to driving. In the meantime, we'll go to New Bedford now, where the temperatures inched up to 23 with very heavy snow as well. So the timing here, really it's right now, the heaviest of the snow now through the early evening hours, now through 10, 11 o'clock tonight. The most intense part of the storm system as far as snowfall rates. And again, at times, we're going to be snowing at the rate of 1 to 3 inches per hour before that switch to sleet along the South Shore. Obviously, poor visibility and poor road conditions. Now, snow continues into Monday, but it should be lighter. But the potential is still there for some additional, albeit small, accumulations on Monday. The bulk of the snow is actually occurring now, and that will continue through the evening hours and up until midnight. No surprise here. I mean, it is just terrible driving, not just the roads, and that's not to say the road crews are not doing their job. It's just that when they clear the road and you're snowing at 1 to 3 inches per hour, it's just the road gets covered again. You're gonna have to go over it again multiple times to clear things. So it's very difficult for the road crews to stay ahead of a storm of this magnitude, but clearly terrible driving conditions now and through the evening and into the overnight. So as far as snowfall potential, we've seen, again, 6 to 9 inches on the ground already. There's more to come. So there's up to 12 in the areas to our south along the immediate South Shore. But inland, anywhere from 12 to 18. So what we're trying to convey here is on the low end, it could be 12, which obviously is significant, or on the high end, 18. So it's going to fall somewhere in that range in this blue zone. And then to the north, where you've got Chepachet, which is right about here, has 9. The potential is there for 18 or more inches of snow. And these numbers will be realized towards later this evening and into the overnight hours. So in some cases, some locations are halfway there with more snow to follow, obviously, over the next several hours. And temperatures, while certainly cold enough to support snow, notice, albeit slightly milder air in southeastern Mass, and so this will tend to infiltrate throughout the evening and overnight. The temperature will inch up a little bit, but again, it's right along the South Shore where we've got heavy snow right now. You're going to transition over to some ice pellets, but the snow continues this evening, heavy at times as we get later into the evening. Certainly we'll start to see some sleet mix again. In fact, I would say by 8 o'clock this evening, Narragansett, Westerly, Newport, you've already changed over to sleet, heavy sleet, those pellets of ice, and that'll continue as temperatures rise through the mid and the upper 20s. Hour by hour forecast, 7 o'clock this evening, we're snowing, but pink represents sleet, and you can see that moving in towards the south shore and southern suburbs. As we move ahead into the overnight hours, generally light snow. So tomorrow morning we're still snowing, though it's more fragmented, it's not as solid, but there'll be at times areas of snow right on through tomorrow afternoon. Wouldn't surprise me to pick up in an additional perhaps 1 to 2 inches of snow throughout tomorrow morning and into tomorrow afternoon before things start to clear out by Monday evening and Monday night. So wrapping this all up, very heavy snow now through about 10, 11 o'clock. Rates at times 1 to 3 inches per hour. Potential is there for thunder. It's not often you get thunder in a winter storm, but when you hear thunder, you see some lightning during a snowstorm. It just means the snowfall rates are very significant amounts of 12 or more inches of snow. We're getting close to that already. Obviously the poor travel, and then lighter snow coming up for Monday, but some small accumulation, so that'll linger on into Monday with temperatures at 30. Once we get beyond Monday, it is quite cold for this time of year, Mike, but staying on the dry side.
All right, Tony, thanks. And as he mentioned, travel is expected to be difficult, if not impossible, throughout the night. Our 12 News crews captured one resident in Cranston taking things into their own hands and cross-country skiing down their street. At least they're off the roads. And speaking of the roads, here's a look at the conditions in Smithfield just a short time ago. And that's where we find 12 News reporter Sheena Lasciuto. Sheena?
Hi everyone, Sheena Lasciuto in Smithfield right now. We're parked at a business. It looks like they haven't plowed their parking lot yet. This is what it looks like when we step around over here. I believe this is George Washington Highway. We're near the restaurant Blackie's and also Jay's Deli over here if you're familiar with the area. You can see not a lot of people out on the roads right now. We did see a plow go by. I would say the most difficult thing right now about being out in the elements is the visibility, but I wasn't the one behind the wheel. So Ryan, my photographer, what were the conditions like?
I would say it was pretty slippery out there. We saw a couple cars that were stuck on the side of the road, couldn't make it up hills. So the traction is tough. If you don't have to be out there, I'd say don't try going out there.
Definitely move slow if you're going anywhere out today. Of course, officials are asking you to stay at home. If you don't have to be out here, stay safe, everyone.
Pretty bad, even though you think it's plowable. What's happening right now is the ice is melting a little bit underneath this, so it's making it the wet, that slippery spot on it. If you have two-wheel drive, you're screwed. I would, if you got to stay home, stay home. I mean, right now it's getting really bad.
I'm Kayla Fish with another look at the conditions this afternoon in Providence. As you can see, there are crews continuing to move throughout the city, plowing the snow, trying to keep these streets clear as the snow continues to come down. And this is another scene that we've seen throughout the city. There is a citywide parking ban in effect until further notice. That means if you are parked on any city streets, the police and tow trucks will come out and remove your vehicles so those plow trucks can move through, do the job that they're trying to do, keep these roads clear. Now, this is the conditions that we're seeing this afternoon on the roads in Providence. But look at the sidewalks. There are inches and inches of snow. It's light snow, so if you're out shoveling, it's not hard to clear, but it's coming down at a pretty solid rate. Now, we've driven throughout the city today, and we've seen really just whiteout conditions. Visibility is very poor throughout the city. It looks a little bit like a snow globe. Now, we've also seen people with shovels trying to get ahead of the snow, but we also ran into one man who just moved to Providence, a skier. He says these conditions are perfect.
Yeah, we should get a chairlift going. The conditions are good. Wish there were more people to share it with, but I'll get first tracks, free refills all day, so can't complain.
Now, again, we'll continue monitoring the conditions throughout the city as the snow continues to fall. But another reminder, that parking ban is in effect. So if you can, move your car before it gets removed.
I'm Ethan Logue with an updated look at the weather and the road conditions along Route 6 here in Seekonk. Now, just a few minutes ago, we had a fleet of snowplows roll through here trying to clear off some of the road as the snow has begun to pick up and fall even harder than it was since we last spoke with you just about an hour ago. The visibility also decreasing along Route 6, and as you can clearly see, not many cars, actually not any cars on the roads right now, and the few we've seen, they've certainly been taking things slow as As I mentioned, the snow starting to pick up here in Seekonk. We've seen some more plows on the roads. We've also seen plenty of plows in parking lots trying to clear space. And we've actually even seen some stores open. We talked to some residents who were out shopping for supplies at a local Walmart. They said they were out just trying to grab a few essentials before the snow really starts to intensify later this afternoon and into the early evening. And those residents I spoke with, well, they had a clear message for anyone who was planning on potentially getting out on these roads over the next few hours.
The drive-in was a little rough, but like I said, we got a truck, so it made it happen. Still with that, you still got to drive carefully. But people are still making it happen, man. But I would say, honestly, just stay at home. It's not good, unless you really have to.
I thought it would be fun. I thought it would look pretty, but it isn't feeling pretty, I'll tell you that.
And we will continue to monitor both the weather as well as the road conditions along Route 6 here in Seekonk as the afternoon shifts into evening. For now, in Seekonk, Massachusetts, I'm Ethan Logue.
Ethan, thank you. Kayla's in Providence. She talked about the parking ban. Just about everyone has a parking ban. A lot of no school announcements, a lot of closures tomorrow. You can get all that on our website, WPRI.com. You know, it looks like it's fun, like that guy said, but when you get out there and the snow's just blowing in your face.
And it's coming down at a pretty good clip, Mike. Now through the early evening hours, anywhere from 1 to 3 inches per hour. That's very heavy snow. Now, if you live along the South Shore, be mindful as you get towards 8, 9 o'clock in the evening, pellets of ice, what we call sleet, you'll transition to sleet. That still makes driving dangerous, but it does reduce the accumulations a little bit. But even the South Shore may get close to 12, and we're going generally 12 to 18 statewide. I think anything in the 18 range would be further to the north. I mean, Chepachet's already halfway there with 9.
And please be careful. It's light snow, but it's still a health hazard if you're not in shape. Please stay with 12 News for the very latest on the storm. We'll have updates around the clock and on WPRI.com, the free 12 Plus News app, and starting on the air at 8 over on WPRI 12.